Okay, league number 2. We just finished up a nice little 4-1 league with the scam deck. We saw Living In twice, Teamer Rhinos once, Dredge, and the 4-color Yorion deck. Our only loss was to Rhinos, which is kind of funny because Dolphy is like one of our best cards in the matchup, and the Great Dogfish convinced us to cut the 4th one before we played that league and started off 4 straight matchups where we wanted Dolphy. So we're going to run it back. We cut the 4th Lightning Bolt for the 4th Dolphy, cut the Agademe for the 4th Street Wraith, and we're going to see how that looks. Sideboard, we cut the Colligan's Command for a 2nd Fatal Push, just to be a little bit better against like the fair stuff. Also gives us another card that we can bring in against, what's it called? Like Murktide and some of the things that are just running aggressive creatures. Another thing we can bring in against Rhinos. So we'll see how it goes. I think at the moment, Dogfish is the only one that is trophied with Rakdos, Scam, Shadow, Monkey, Fable, Spyro, or Spyro Monkey, or Fable Monkey, whatever variation you're choosing to play. So we got to catch up. We got some work to do. We can't consider ourselves Death Shadow enthusiasts if we're not trophying or doing well with Death Shadow decks. Alright, round number 1. What do we got? Fiji Tree. So game 1, for the most part, we're looking for like a good scam hand on turn 1. I think I'm going to keep this. I think this is like close enough to a fair hand. Because I've got turn 1 Monkey. I could grief if I need to. Alright, so Amulet Titan. Should be a reasonable matchup. Maybe if we can stop finding so many Spyros. Our Boreal Grazer is absolutely a pain in the butt. So I don't want to get Titan next turn. Like that. Alright, so maybe like opponent attacks at us with Dryad, we draw land and we can get Spyro, ditch a couple Spyros. Or they just top deck a Summoner's Pack. Alright. It was bound to be one of the 2 options. But we've got Fulminators, Blood Moons and Alpine Moons, Turok. Let's see what we got to cut before we start thinking about bringing in Chalice or something. Turn 1 Scam Fury is pretty good. One more card. Maybe just I want to keep in the Alpine Moon because of Urza's Saga. Just trim a Fury since I'm bringing out so many red cards. Nope. It's turn 1 Grief, so we'll keep that. Ditch a land. Let's go Blood Crypt, Grief. Oh. So Amulet, Azusa, Prime Time. So we're gonna take Amulet. We're just going to take Amulet and Azusa and try to race. Let's do that. And they top deck a way to stop us from racing. Ugh. Alright. Not the worst, but not the best either. Let's find a land to Spyro. That's also reasonable. Take a Primeval Titan. Play a Shadow. Say go. Hydroid Krasis is one that I wouldn't really expect coming in here, but I guess at the end of the day, it's a creature you can play out, so. Fetch land. Fetch land. Fetch land, fetch land, fetch land. Doing this just to lose the 2 life so that I can get this Grazer off the board. Cavern of Souls naming jellyfish. Alright, gain a life. Gain a life, draw a card. Yeah, I've got to just evoke this. So if they have a Titan, they can Titan. But I don't think there's anything they get off Titan that I'm really scared of. They have to double block Grief. Another Hydroid Crisis. Okay. They're just still dead, aren't they? This gains 2 and they still just died of Grief. Yeah. Alright. It's like I get the jellyfish, but again, I don't know if this is the matchup for it. Unless they're all in the main, and then I guess you can't really do much about that, right? Are they in the main? I feel like they're sideboarded. So I would assume you're just like all in on Titans and stuff game 1 and then Crisis out of the board. And I don't think I'm really going to change anything. Just need aggressive scam hand. This does scam. See what they do turn 1 to make us decide if we're gonna Thoughtseize or Fury. Well, that means we're going, ooh, good grief. I think I just want a Fury here. Ditching. Ditch the other Fury. Yeah. All right, what you got? Oriole Grazer. Okay. Hoo hoo hoo. That's really nice. Now we get to just turn to Undying Evil this grief. Or I guess we can grief and see what they have. And if we don't mind them having it, we can just like Undying Evil the Fury instead. Or if they have like two things we want to take, we Undying Evil the Grief. So yeah. Not much we care about there, so then we'll evoke this. All right. That means they didn't draw a Titan, because if they did, they just float mana, get an Amulet, play a bounce land. They got 2, 3, 4, activate Garenbrig, cast the Titan, haste it up, blah, blah, blah. Alright, so Forest was their draw. Alright. Don't kill me. Scammed. Scam City. Let's get a few more of those this league. That was, in fact, unfair. Yeah, imagine having 7 power with a double strikers on the board. What, turn 2? Yep. Got a scammed grief on the play. It's hard to pass that up. And opponent mulliganed. Again. The Tron. Let's go. Meyer. Grief. Oh no, it's Charbelcher. So I know we're going to take the green source. I think we just go green and recross the paths. So Spike Field, Hazard down. All right, how many is this? So they still have 2 Valakut Awakenings. What do we got? Desperate Ritual. I think I'd rather just take a land. Take a permanent mana source over a temporary. Life total doesn't matter, so I'm just going to make it so that if I draw a shadow, I can play it. Nice. Alright, 2 turns. 2 turns. So their hand has to be... It has to be Desperate Ritual, Iron Crag Feet, Desperate Ritual, Iron Crag Feet, Charbelcher. Has to be exactly. The scam. Okay, game 2. Do I want Chalice on 0? All that stops is packed, right? Gotta find a list. Does anybody actually trophy with Charbelcher? Belcher. There we go. Hacked. So they're bringing in Leyline of Sanctities and Veil of Summers, and that's like it. I don't think Chalice is worth it. Maybe on the play, stop Spikefield Hazard, strike it rich. Veil of Summer. Definitely not on the draw. Fulminators are going to be great. Blood Moon. Blood Moon means they can't cast any of their green stuff without Manamorphose. I think we just go like that. And if we have a hand that turn one scams a Fury, we might just have to keep it. Because if they have Leyline of Sanctity, then us having like a Grief scam hand just doesn't matter. They Serum Powder? It did. Why? Don't know why you'd get rid of that hand. I think we gotta ship this. This we can keep. And probably just drop Serum Powdered again. Okay. And drop one of these Undying effects. Malakir Rebirth can be a land, so we'll just drop the Undying Evil. Anytime you can mulligan and Serum Powder is in your hand, you exile all the cards from your hand, then draw that many cards. Alright, so they mulliganed, exiled everything to Serum Powder. Yep. So Serum Powder, Leyline. There's our turn one Ragavan. So it's just one of those times, like, if they have the nuts, if they have Leyline into the nuts, there's nothing we can do about it. The hope is just that they don't have the nuts and they're missing something. Heretic Ritual. Not doing anything with that, so let's go Shadow. Evoke. Malakir Rebirth. Because the 2 life loss in growing the Shadow is worth more than the 1 counter off of the Feigned Death. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh. Oh, so you're saying there's a chance. All right. Be bad. Be bad. Yes! Scam! The scam! Oh, got a little dicey with that ley line there. But that's why Death Shadow has been such a good backup plan to this deck. Like, just adding a really solid punch there when you need to be more aggressive. Tilted. Sometimes Stream Decker randomly leaves the chat, and whenever somebody says they need the deck list, I got to go remind it to rope it back in, rejoin the chat. So if it doesn't pop up right away, that's usually why. I can't for the life of me figure out why Stream Decker just decides in the middle of games, like, you know what, I don't really want to be here anymore. I'm gonna be over there. Peace. Ooh. Think I need to do better. Do I need to do better? This is like another fetch land away. We'll keep it. Here we go for the high roll where I just top deck like an Undying effect. Or more specifically, top deck a Malakir Rebirth. Ugh. Danger, danger, Will Robinson. Mono Blue Tron. Can you send it again? My chat bugged. Yeah, here you go. Boom. It should work with the command now. Just sometimes, like I said, it gets... just leaves. Tower. I want to dash monkey. Let's give it a shot. Yep. Yeah, no problem. Another walking ballisti. Okay. Double ballista into blast zone. They gotta do this to me, OP. Yep. If only I could have found you like 2 turns sooner. Interesting. So am I just forcing action here? I could play Shadow, they pop Blast Zone, I Undying Evil 1, bolt the Ballista. Probably have to. Then obviously if they go to just put a counter on the Ballista, I bolt it. Play Nimble Obstructionist. Okay. And they found Tron. Yep. So they found all the interaction there. Yep. Doesn't matter. Bolt the Walking Ballista, they ping me and they have a flyer for lethal. Bolt this, play Shadow, they take up, ping me for lethal. It's just a case of finding all the stuff I did not want them to find in a very short period of time there. Kind of want to bring in an EE so I have an answer to like them playing Chalice of the Void. Maybe 2, actually. Don't really want to be locked out to a Chalice. I think I need to do stuff turn 1. No land. Alright. Turn 1. Scam a Grief. And see what happens. I just gave the sorry man, like, I'm sorry as well for this. Hope you don't play Force Negation. Or Subtlety. Subtlety would get me pretty well. So let's take Walking Ballista, Spatial Contortion. All right. Here we go. The long, arduous trek to maybe doing something. In case we find a shadow. Pretty sure we're just dead to Karn plus Bridge if he goes that route. Or he just finds a second Spatial Contortion. Alright. Jeez. Opponent has found all of the goods. Man, every draw they've had has been live. Like just finding Thirst into Condescend. They've got Repeal. They've got Wormcoil. Found the two missing Tron lands. Jeez. That was rough. Electric Bob, what's up? Also blame Kami for the correct nonsense. I mean, for Mono Blue Tron, I think I blame Shock Trooper more than anybody. Shock Trooper and Trellin. But I feel like I've bullied enough Mono Blue Tron players with like Grixis Shadow that they deserve one every now and then. So do we high roll the land off the top? I'm going to go for it. We're here to scam. We're not here to be cowards. This is Heliod. Ha ha ha. Cowards, we are not. Just exile you. Not Heliod. Not Heliod at all. We've been lied to. We've been severely lied to. So take... This exiles anything. Guess we just take Sanctum Weaver and an Enchantress's presence. Triple on thin ice. Who hurt you, opponent? What on earth is this? As long as you control 7 or more enchantments, creatures you control have flying and vigilance. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, create a white spirit cleric creature token. With this creature's power and toughness are each equal to the number of spirits you control. What? I'm straight up against, like, Enchantress control. Alright, we're gonna grief this Dothy. Play the Ragavan. Emrakul the Aeon's Torn. Emrakul the Aeon's Torn. I don't know what I need to draw, but I don't think that's it. Alright, I want you to draw the Sanctum Weaver. Draw a Sanctum Weaver right here. One of your finest Sanctum Weavers. It was like, I'm terrified of... Okay, that's pretty good. I'm terrified of them just, like, stockpiling enchantments. Yeah, we'll do this off the... Okay. Step 1. Present actual clock. Okay. And I guess I could get like a solitary. That's fine. I can't do that, right? As much as I want to. I can't imagine a world where that's right. Maybe they sack this Sterling Grove and go get, like, 4th on thin ice. I don't know if that's worth it, but... I mean, I guess solitary confinement or whatever is the do get fourth on thin ice. Okay. Yep, take my Fury. And let's hit. Alter non-land permanent opponent controls. I could hit like an on thin ice and get back my grief. That's probably correct. I think if I'm playing paper here, I cast out the on thin ice that's keeping grief. Get the grief back to look at their hand just for the information and then bolt. Alright, so we've got Turox, EEs, maybe Fulminator's like meh. Hit like the Jetmir Garden or whatever, but it's never going to hit the land that they've got on thin ice on. Spyro seems a little slow. I board out a Dolphy. Keep in some spot removal for things like Sanctum Weaver, and then the other one, the green-white one. What's the green-white dude's name? I find that. MTG, green, white, enchantment, creature. Picture him. Not Destiny Spinner, though they do play that. Sithis. That dude. I think I'm keeping this. Turn 1, Thoughtseize. Turn 2, Scam of Fury. Opponent, if you have Veil of Summer, I'm going to cry more than a grown man should cry. Okay. Alright, so I do have Sanctum Weaver. I've got On Thin Ice. So I think I'm just going to take that. They drop a Sanctum Weaver this turn. We feign Death of Fury. Unless they play a Sterling Grove. Interesting. So I guess if that's the case, I just play EE on 2. Okay. Say pop Sterling Grove. Put what on top? Another Sterling Grove. Okay. We are definitely scamming this Fury here. So we're gonna play this hallowed thing. Yep. So they got Sterling Grove, Sanctum Weaver. And they get to make a couple dudes off of this. Okay. I think I want a Dash Monkey here. It's like anything they draw off the top, they're just going to be able to play into this hallowed haunting thing. Mana Bloom. Okay. So you just get to like bounce this every turn and make a 1/1 or 2/2, 3/3, whatever it is. Does that mean I should just Turok? Or Spyro, because I still have another bolt. Let's Spyro. It's gotta be Spyro. What you got? Just Pop Sterling Grove. So, I mean, I guess if you go Hallowed Haunting and get, like, multiple mana blooms, you just, every upkeep, get to pick up your mana blooms, replay them out, make, like, 2 more guys, 2 2/2s, then the next turn there are 2 4/4s, then 2 6/6s. Just, like, keep climbing up the ladder, so that's kind of cool. What do you get here? I feel like you have to get like an On Thin Ice for the Dolthy. Like you pick up the Mana Bloom, you've got the On Thin Ice, gives you 2 dudes, you get rid of the Dolthy. I tack in, yeah. And the Veil. Okay. Well, that might actually end up saving me some life. So. Need them to draw. Why do they tank so long? So I need them to draw something they can't cast here. On Thin Ice the Dolthy. Make a 1/1. Yep. Then you replay the Mana Bloom. Make a 2/2. Yep. So you're currently dead. Let's see, I have another solitary confinement. Oh, man. Talk about best draw step. So I'm actually just dead to that, right? Because the untapped Mana Bloom, replay it, make a 4/4. Okay, I'm not dead. So they lose the confinement. I have to bank on them not drawing another Veil of Summer. Because they lose the confinement here. I need them to attack with these cleric tokens. Like, I need this to be a dead draw. I need this to be a land off the top. That is not a land. That is far from a land. That is absolute opposite of a land. Alright, let's be mana efficient at least. Interesting. I should have attacked with a Spyro too. Crap. Come on, put 2 blockers on it. You want to kill the Fury. Dang. Actually, they would have needed to put 3 on it. Yeah. I guess they didn't attack last turn, so maybe they don't attack this turn. Especially if they finally draw that land. It's not a land. Oh, come on. That is gross. But yeah, I should have attacked with the Spyro last turn too, so I could rebirth the Spyro. I don't even get to see what I would have drawn into. Man, that was disgusting. Abundant growth into Enchantress's presence. This is the Enchantress player I played against yesterday. I'll tell them I don't like them. Kidding, I don't mind them. I think I do want the 4th Dolphy back in, though. Got a Wraith. Played so slowly, they conceded to me with 3 seconds on the clock, and I had like 14 minutes. I don't think they played too slowly, but this Hallowed Haunting card seems a little sus. Seems they figured out their internet. Like, I guess for me, this Hallowed Haunting thing is like, if your deck's just doing its normal thing, I can't imagine you need it. But dang. That's the thing this hand can't beat. Maybe I'm still supposed to just, like, feign death the grief turn 1 and hope they don't have any sort of interaction. I don't think I brought in Fulminators. Nope. I just have to do this. No! No! Oh, I just passed through because I didn't have a target. I thought it was going to give me priority after the first ability resolve, but I guess since I don't have a target, it just skipped straight through it. Lame. Yep. That was bad. I would gladly just taken the 4-3. But as always, when your opponent has everything they need plus a ley line, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, if they have ley line plus Enchantress's presence plus Sterling Grove plus whatever other little piece they need, doesn't matter what you've got. Yeah, like, kicking this Turok would have been a good way to potentially get a win, but not with Leyline. Maybe we could have mulled a little more aggressively and looked for a hand that like could beat a Leyline. Like Scam Fury into Shadow Hand. But like game 2, we didn't see Leyline. They never drew a Leyline. And I guess technically, like that game 3 hand, we can't really just throw it back under the assumption that they could have a Leyline. Because the hand was great if they didn't. But it had like turn 1 Scam of Grief, turn 2 Dolphy. Fury sitting around or a Fatal Push for a dude. So. On the draw, yeah, we'll keep the Ragavan hand. Hammertime. Let's Grief. Grief of Dolphy? No, Grief of Shadow. Stoneforge. Say go. Mismatching planes. Ugh. Disgusting peasant. Alright. Let's go ahead and take you out. Sure. Why not? Another stone forge off the top, as one does. Do you get not a hammer, please? Shadow Spear. That is, by all technicalities, not a hammer. Okay. Okay. So we can evoke Fury off the Shatter Skull. Kill this. Attack in. Play Dothy. They've got Pure Steel Shadow Spear that we know of. Let it die. Thank you. Yeah. Exiling Urza's Saga is nice. Alright. Pure Steel, Shadow Spear, unknown. There's a Pure Steel. Just main phase throw this, Are you not main phase throwing the Shadow Spear. Because if you draw a land, you want to be able to play it. Ah. Because you just draw hammers. Got it. They scoop to that? Why would you scoop to that? You're just like one more top deck paladin away from me not having a chance in hell. Crazy. Alright, well this is one of the matchups we added the second Fatal Push in the board for. On the draw, a lot of this stuff's pretty weak. Do I want anything like Chalice or Blood Moon? I guess I actually prefer Ragavan to Wraith. Because it pitches to Fury. And with Fury, I can clear the way for it without having to give him cards off like Esper Sentinel. Alright. This doesn't scam very hard. It does shadow very hard, but... Okay. I like the first hand more, but I don't think I can go down to 5. Need to take lessons from Eastern European robocallers up your scammy game. That's pretty funny. Scam game weak, son. Stoneforge Mystic. Okay. Get Shadow Spear. What does get Shadow Spear tell me? Hushbringer. Hushbringer. Well, now I've got a Ragavan that can attack into that, so that's kind of funny. Three, 2 Ragavan, too strong. I guess he drew another land. But we could have just started kicking into or swinging into the Hushbringer. Next turn, I guess we're just playing a 2-1 Turok, and we don't really have a lot after that. But New is powerless against the scam, apparently. Alright, so what did I think of some of those changes? Our losses were to Mono Blue Tron and what was that other one towards next to last match? Mono Blue Tron and Enchantress. And Enchantress was game 3 Leyline. They didn't have Leyline. I think we were in a decent spot, but they have it, so we weren't. The Mono Blue Tron one, that was what? We turned 2 griefed, and they ended up finding a second copy of Spatial Contortion. So, alright, it seemed like that league, the grief plan, or like the turn 1 scam plan was pretty subpar. The backup plan was reasonable. But I mean, like, we were a couple top decks against Enchantress away from being 4-1. Mono Blue Tron, we just got rolled. But we were real close against Enchantress. So we'll have to keep that in mind.